Today I'd like to recommend a book to you that I recently reread. It's called Power Healing. I read this book a couple of decades ago, and honestly at that time it didn't seem to have the effect on me that it has had now. I picked up the book recently and I read the book from cover to cover, and the way I read may be different from you, but for me, if I'm going to read a book, I'm going to destroy it. My books don't get sold. I can't put them back on any kind of social media network because I've got more underlines and more yellow markings on them than you can imagine. I really destroy a book when I read it. By the time I'm done, half of the book looks like I wrote it because of all my notes on it. But this book is filled with notes because it really has had an impact on me. Power Healing really discusses the whole idea of our calling as ministers to heal the sick. And I think it's a very balanced approach by someone who honestly comes from a background that did not support even the idea of healing the sick. He shares his journey, and then he also shares the miracles that begin to take place in his life. And he's very raw about the things that he failed in, and he's very honest about the challenges that he went through. And I appreciate that about any author. He shows you all the warts as well as all the victories. And a number of people were physically healed through John Wimber's ministry that became the Vineyard. I would encourage you to take opportunity to really buy the book and read this book. I think it'll profoundly help you in your ministry to the sick. I have noticed that even as I read the book, that the incidences of healing in my ministry began to increase. Now, I would make a connection between those two things because faith comes by hearing and hearing by the Word of God. I do not mean that everyone started getting healed, but I started to see a profound increase of healing taking place in my ministry because I reinforced many of the things that the Word of God teaches about healing. So I would encourage you to read this book and let it have impact on your life, and also to take a scholarly look at healing the sick. Many denominations actually even teach that it's no longer part of the present day church, but I would challenge that. As you read through the scriptures and as you read this book, you're going to be struck by how many times healing was a central part of evangelism. So I encourage you. The name of the book is Power Healing. His other book, Power Evangelism, is similar also in many ways, and both of them were bestsellers. I'd recommend either of them to you. God bless.